Hello, what is up guys, it's Bensai here again, and today we're going to go through the crew on the PC. This is just my opinions on the crew, really. First thing I'm going to do is just dive into settings quite quickly. Running at 1080, it only has a limit of 60 FPS this game. No VSync, because this game doesn't tear, so I don't need it. Everything is more or less whacked out high as it goes. Some things don't go to ultra. Anti-aliasing 4 times because I'm recording, so it's not a max. I think you can go up to 8. Yes, you can go up to 8. No, don't want to do that. Let's go back into it again. There we go. And yeah, some shadow stuff which looks pretty nice. Grass, ambient occlusion. You have an FOV scales thing, which, as far as I've not been able to change whatever it does. So, well, yeah, that's that. Obviously, all your audio and stuff. We're going to turn down the music because in this case, I can't really have any of that for this video. The controls for this, I have it on hardcore. I tried it on, obviously, I think it's like beginner or something they call it. All driving help, they call it. It's alright. I mean, it's if you're not familiar with games like this, go ahead and use that. Sports probably just a bit more, obviously lets you get a bit more tail happy with it. Hardcore, it seems to just let you spin if you're not too careful, and I like that. I leave it on automatic because I'm using this with the controller. So yeah, I played this game with the controller. I tried it with the keyboard for a little while, and as all racing games on the PC, really, it's not that fun. You can get away with playing it with obviously a keyboard, but do you really want to do that? Really, like just tap in left, right, and not being able to sort of like straight line it down certain roads because keyboard's a bit weird like that. This stuff straight away hasn't really been working, and for how long this game's been out, I'm not sure if I'm doing something wrong here. But none of this is what, like all these changes are offline. Okay, you do get some stuff on the leaderboard. I got some random people added that I've added through the game just to hopefully like, oh, maybe I can actually, you know, see people when doing stuff for multiplayer. I'm gonna be honest though, I haven't actually really played the multiplayer enough to know anything. But there's stuff like this where like it seems to log stuff for today only. Because I was playing it a bit earlier on today, so it's remembered 1%. Yet I've done. You start off in the Midwest, and then you sort of work your way along each area till you get to West Coast, and it's like the final area of the story. As you can see, all the story icons that you can do. So there's got to be about, I don't know, how many have we got in the area? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you got to have about 50. Oh yeah, we already read it, didn't we? It says 64 story missions. Then you have all these little skill ones. So you have slaloms and stuff. I'll show you that anyway. I'll go to, which one have I not done yet is the question. We'll go to that one. So that's waypoint, because fast travel is fine I suppose, but I won't use that. And let's join the world as such.
5 tens. Well. Welcome to the face-off. Right now, 50 of you. 50 of the best drivers in the world have assembled to do what we do best. Burn rubber, break laws, and settle what needs settling.
Ooh. That's a player behind me apparently having a crash somewhere.
I've got something big
Or apparently flying.
We had a little ruckus in the
Okay, that's cool.
Business partner has swapped his tie for an orange jumpsuit. So I'm on the lookout for number 2. One of you is going to win. This is an elimination competition.
Come on.
In 2 events time, I cut it from 50 of you down to 20. So press, wreak havoc, and set these roads on fire. Ride the world into the red line.
Okay, so that's one of the main characters from the story that you meet along the way. I'm I'm trying not to spoil the story, but to be honest, how far through I am going to at this point if I do any of the missions. So, and I'm going to be honest, like most of the story missions, there's nothing special about them. But anyway, I'll show you off what one of the first things,
510s.
one of the first things you do, which is slaloms, which in the name is just a slalom on the road. You do these along the way, like if you especially you drive into story missions, you just pick up stuff like this as you go, upgrade your car with. So we'll do this quickly, yada yada yada. It's quite easy with the car I got now, because this is like, you start off with basically like a 100-point car, which is top, like left digit that I've got at the moment, which is, I'm on 730, is my like performance of this car. Apparently I've already done this, so I'm not going to actually earn anything that special from doing this. Yeah, and yay, I got a gold, woohoo! And that gives me a weight reduction part, which for this car I haven't actually got anything like that yet, so it's actually quite useful. And the most annoying thing I find with that is you get these new parts and you sort of want to do your, obviously drive to the story or whatever else, and then it does that, it stops you, it puts you back all the way to where you finished that skills slalom thing, and then you've got to drive again. And I never got why it does that. I don't know why it doesn't just like apply it to your car there and then and just carry you on. It just seems to be counterproductive if you ask me. But hey ho, they chose to do that for whatever reason. First thing you probably haven't noticed about this game is it doesn't look particularly brilliant. It's fine, but it's not like a high fidelity game. I mean, it looks like sort of sharp enough. The textures aren't anything special. The game runs okay. I mean, I'm running on a GTX 980. That's all the settings you saw at the start of this video. So it runs not too bad. Not too bad. Other than that, though, like, I'm not going to say this game looks fantastic. Like, I really am. It's just, it's a mediocre open world game, really. So obviously this game goes on about being open world, that you can meet people, obviously race with them, do some co-op challenge stuff. I've had a bit of an issue with that at the moment. I think the maximum people had in the race is 3, and generally you're supposed to have 4 if you do a co-op one. And it's hard to know what that is, if that's down to, for instance, just the netcode matchmaking, how it does its matchmaking, or if it's just player based, because as you can see right now I got about 4 people on my map, and you sort of hope for this sort of game that you would have a bit more people roaming down these different areas. Fair enough, it is a huge map, because like for me, I drove this car from, where did I drive it from? I think it was somewhere near New York, all the way to here, and that took, well, basically about 30 minutes. That's not like the deep corners either. But there seems to be just either an issue with getting a lot of people into this so that you then have a lot of people to co-op with, or it doesn't match up people. I don't know how it works, you see. I don't know if it works from like just local people in the area and it just goes, hey, this guy wants to do a race, do you want to go join? But that's been disappointing so far. So if you take it from a solo point of view, how does this game feel? Well, it's got a very mediocre solo like story. It's very much feels like if anyone's played like a Need to Be Most Wanted sort of game, you're sort of like the top guy racing around, someone messes it up, and in this case, just a bit of a spoiler, kills your brother, you end up getting framed for it, and then you have to work your way back up and obviously take people out as you go and like earn your rank as such. And that's it really. I mean, you meet some people along the way. There is maybe a character you meet along the way that I sort of like, but they don't really allow you to explore any of that because it's a racing game. Like, you're not there for that. So, story, like I say, is okay, but it's not something that's going to keep you there. Like, if you just enjoy this for driving around, then you can completely ignore half of that stuff and just drive around, really. I mean, you got to do story modes to get further progression-wise, but, you know, you sort of could skip all those cutscenes and be like, yeah, whatever. So driving then. Driving isn't anything special in this game. Especially on controller, it just doesn't seem that fantastic. It's nothing bad, but I don't know. It feels really weird. Like I got a Dodge, one of the starting off cars. I think it's a Dodge Challenger or Charger, the new shape ones, 2013 or whatever shape. If anyone really cares about that, and that car is just when you first start off. I don't know if it's just obviously your like car level as such. It really doesn't feel that great. Feels a bit like soap on the rope sort of thing, or something. Obviously as you progress it gets a bit better, but like I find there is not a definition between the cars, like rear-wheel drive cars, four-wheel drive cars, or all-wheel drive cars, whichever you prefer, and then front-wheel drive cars. There seems to be this weird like disparate, like there isn't a difference between them. It feels so much as rear-wheel drive cars, especially on dirt, are a pain in the ass in hardcore mode because you just easily spin out and like you bump around a bit and then off you go. And yes, I have got the thing on a hardcore mode, but I feel if I didn't have it on hardcore mode, it would be something I could easily win, and that's not fun. Like having hardcore mode and then having a really tough view sometimes, especially in a solo race as well, where it seems like they just sort of drive along fairly straight and you're sort of jumping around everywhere, and I feel even with the assist on you probably have that problem still. Obviously you won't spin out or anything, but I feel like you will get jolted about just the same, and like it just feels weird for that. But you know, like I say, the racing's nothing special, really isn't. It's okay. So what draws me to this game? It's an arcade racer, which is nice to have from time to time. I play a lot of Forza. I used to play stuff like Lift Speed, R Factor. So it's nice to have sort of a racer that you can sit back, maybe stick on a podcast or whatever else and just drive around for a bit. And if you're lucky, you might play some online stuff and meet people along the way. Now, I should go more into like the performance index, I suppose, sort of stuff of this game. Like, obviously, what the 759 is and how obviously you get better things, upgrades. And one of the things is doing those skills like that slalom stuff. You can get them from that, or this one, which was down the road as fast as you can, basically get some distance. That gets you points, you get multipliers, that then obviously increases it, and then you get a gold level and get a decent item. I will show you now, if I go to my HQ, this is sort of like where I don't know, this is really, I don't really want to call it MMO, but that's sort of what it is, because it's a load of numbers. You're getting like plus 19 this ECU, you're getting plus that motor core as they call it. So if I go, well actually I want to go back there, which I don't really go into often, but you got your car level. Go to performance, and you have these weird numbers, like acceleration 8080, top speed 7204, grip level 7298, and then at least something underneath saying what the hell that really means, like brake horsepower. If anyone's obviously into their racing games, brake horsepower to them would instantly be like, oh yeah, I know what that means. You know, power's better, more power and all that. Torque, yes, and then weight, and that's all it gives. It doesn't give you like 0 to 60s or anything like that. Some of these upgrades are really weird, because like ECU, for instance, you can get heavier and lighter ones, which to me is really like MMO in a sense, because how would that make a difference to your weight? It's a bloody chip. Like, what the hell is this thing made out of to make it like two pounds less? And you can repair your vehicle, but as far as I'm concerned, that hasn't been explained at all. What the hell that does? Like, obviously now my car looks a bit tidier again, but you can do a race and then come out of the race and it's fine again. It looks fine. So it doesn't explain that very well, and I don't feel so far for most of the journey through it. Like if we go from like 100 to 400 performance, whatever you want to call it, I haven't really noticed a great deal of stuff. Oh yeah, my top speed's getting better. And then you get to the weird part, which is your perks. You have such perks as increased braking, increased car handling, like a nitro acceleration booster, reveal stuff, XP and like credits or whatever they call it in this game, cash I suppose. Increased top speed. So it's got like these weird MMO perks there as well, which seems really weird. I sort of can agree with these cost ones and like maybe more money and XP, but these ones for handling and stuff just seems very weird. And also you can buy perks. That's like one of the microtransaction things in this game, which yeah, this game has microtransactions if you didn't know. I haven't really experienced it saying anything like that yet, but there is apparently that option in this game, and maybe I haven't seen it yet because it hasn't actually shouted at me, because the online stuff seems a bit janky still, even now. Along the way you have like your radar thing that you can pick up parts for a hidden car, so basically you just find a crappy car that's all like rusted up and banged up and you collect a part from it, and you do this with another 19 cars. And hey, you got a car. I haven't been bothered to do this. Like, you have the option of, you see these areas around here and up here that are obviously not included because I haven't driven there. You could highlight them by finding the satellites. See these little dots here, sort of go, hey, it's around this radius somewhere over here. That's another thing you could do if you really want to, but I feel that takes away any more of the fun factor this game has, really. They also do the weird thing of like, hey, you have PvP races. I haven't actually done any of these yet. I guess I should try one now and see if it works. From what I've seen so far, this hasn't really worked in most people's cases. So yeah, apparently I've got 4% top speed boost, so I don't know what speed I'll be doing now. But I've had a real hard time of like working out this game. It's like an arcadey racer, but then it doesn't have enough to it to make me say that this game stands out. It just seems to be an arcade racer that then someone's tried cramming in this multiplayer aspect to it, but it hasn't really worked. And like I say, not having that unique aspect to it in the first place doesn't then mean you've got the player base there to then enjoy the multiplayer side of it more and see these people rolling around. And when I have, obviously, not a lot of people talk because it's a racing game. There's no real easy way to interact with people, I find. I mean, you have this, which is my friends, and I think maybe local people around. And then you have stuff like your crew, which I don't have any people. Yeah, you have your session, which is obviously the people near me now. And, like, that's it. There's nothing actively, like, really getting you to go into it. I've got to open up a wiki freaking page on how PvP works apparently, because I've not done one in it. I pressed the wrong button to do it. Can I just see a private, and then you have public games and you gain rank, and I guess I'll just do free for all because I'm probably gonna not be lucky enough to actually find anything. As it is, this last time took about 5 minutes to actually find anyone. So let's see if it does or not. I'm not trying to like say this is a bad game or anything really, because it potentially could be, but there is something that makes this game unique missing. I feel like it's got this huge map which is like, well yeah, that's cool, but then it seems, oh, I don't know, bland I guess is the word I'm probably looking for. There's not a huge deal to it that I find that makes this game stand out at all. Like I say, the driving's very arcadey, and then it's a bit weird because then it seems arcadey until then I spin the rear-wheel drive car really easily, and then that's sort of just like, there's nothing that makes the driving that super fun. And there's that thing that can't help me think that if this is a Burnout game, this would be super awesome. I mean, that's a really bad like thing to compare it to, because Burnout is a completely different game really. But like Burnout I would have thought would have made well, Paradise at least. Oh, we did find a game, but did we find a full 4, or was it just like 2 or 3 of us? And am I up against people that are stupid level? See, I'm up against like 1,000. This is the annoying part, because like I'm on something that's got about 800, and now I'm going against 1,000 and such cars, which just doesn't make this fun at all. So I'll probably do one of these, see how it goes, see if it's laggy or anything, and then go from there, I suppose. Wait, what? It's changed my car. Oh, because I got... Wait, what? I'm confused. Yeah, my Dodge Challenger then. Fine. And like for most of this game, I've just had the same car, because there's no weird like limit of like class 1 car, class 2, class 3. You just like level up your car until you get to whatever max level I suppose you can ascertain, which is somewhere probably around 1,500, I would assume. But yeah, let's just see if this is any fun or not, I suppose. Oh yeah, circuit car, cool. Except I'm going to get absolutely smashed. If I don't, I'm surprised. So this is a better multiplayer game already, I'm going to say, because I've done like the co-op story missions or just normal missions, and people have been very jittery. But yeah, let's see how this goes. One thing I gotta say is, obviously being such a huge environment. Okay, I said the stuff about that online stuff, and now, yeah. But obviously being such a huge environment, it is, at least you do have quite a variation in like environments. Like this sort of woodland bit makes it quite nice. It reminds me sort of a Grid 2 race where you have to do like that point-to-point sort of racing. And talking about racing, there is several, like, I think there's about 4 or 5 different sort of story missions you do. You do like a point-to-point like this is. You do normal typical circuit, laps, etc. You do what I consider the worst bit about the solo missions at least, which is takedowns, which is obviously literally taking down car, like an AI car, which is just horrible. It reminds, I hate to say it, but it reminds me sort of like Assassin's Creed, where you do those chase missions. It's one of those like really dull, maybe 1 or 2 minute chases where you're sort of like nudging them every now and again, and oh yeah, in the last 10 seconds I got it, and my car level could be 100 car level over them, so I should be able to easily chase them down and smash them sort of thing, and it doesn't happen. And then sometimes you get where the AI crashes straight off the bat and you like win in the first 20 seconds. That is not a fun game type straight away. I can reassure you it's just not fun. Another one is, obviously, you have cops in this game, so maybe you are evading people. That's also not fun. Like, cops never seem to be at any point throughout this game, if I don't crash spectacularly. Cops never seem to be at this point easy. They just seem to, like, be on a last banter always. Like, you can have a silly car level and the cops are still following you doing 180 and you're like, surely there should be a limit to what these cars can do, like, unless it was sort of like most wanted thing of like, you're cop level 5, so now there's all these Lamborghini cop cars chasing you. Like, I could accept that. But like, you start off chases and you're doing 180 and it's going, yeah, we're still following you. You just, and there's not enough mechanics to those chases that make them in any way easier or fun. Either you just literally straight line it down some roads and hoping for the best. If not, you can hopefully you're gonna be able to chuck it down some side lanes and just outrun them still, which a lot of the time still doesn't work. And as always with racing games, there's always one guy that has to ram you, even though you could just overtake. Just do that instead, you idiot. Like, what's the point doing that? You're gonna win anyway. Well, not win, but come second at least. Apparently these morons can't drive. So yeah, the chases, the evasions are probably one of the worst bits about this game. They do not make it fun. Another thing about this game, if you do point-to-point races, you can put point up to get this like racing line. I don't get why it's a perk point instead of like a visual assist. It seems like a really weird thing to have as a perk point, but okay. So yeah, there's a lot of things that seem to be still needed to be addressed in this game, as well as that apparently still, and stuff like that. So yeah, so try a dirt road race if I can at some point, and just show you how that seems to be. Also, I have a hard time, like you saw with that like telegraph pole, whatever. I could easily run that. I have a hard time finding stuff that I can say yes I can run through that, and then no I cannot run through that. Like there's some fences that look like other fences that you could run through, and it'll just be like, nope, you can't. And I'm like, what do you mean you can't? Right, I need to get out of this because I'm not going to play another one of these guys because they're just going to keep smashing me. Like, fortunately enough for me, this was just a game that I picked up with when I got the GTX 980. It's a free game. I had Far Cry 2 already pre-ordered, so... Well, I didn't pre-order it. I bought it later on, so it was like... whatever. So there was like the choice of obviously Assassin's Creed Unity, which was very much broken, or Crew, which was sort of broken and at least playable to some extent. So I went with this, which if Assassin's Creed gets fixed I'll probably regret, but for the time being this game sucks some hours I guess, and then we'll probably won't pick up again. Probably one of these games where it's do the story, you'll be like, yeah, I'm sort of done with this. And that's really weird considering what I said earlier, where the story isn't actually any fun, that's for sure. Oh, I'll have a slow, let's do it. And so I find this game very repetitive through a lot of things, which can be fine, depending on what it is, and if it's fun enough to make it repetitive, then go for it. But some of this stuff at some point just will become just a bane at some point. Why am I still doing this? Sort of like that Destiny sort of thing some people have where they're still playing and they're going, actually, why am I playing this still? Like, this is the game that's really repetitive, I'm doing the same stuff over and over again. And all I'm doing is basically getting more plus 11s and 9s. And that's all I'm doing. it just seems like, okay, this number's going up, but what am I really achieving here? It's the radar business where you can find a car from doing this. Oh. So is it? Oh, see, like that. That looks to me like I should be able to drive through it, but apparently not. Okay, some of these textures are having to fit, apparently. Oh, it's over the other side of the harbour. Okay. Don't mind that. Whoa. I'm finding the texture around here just really weird. Just get back on the... Okay, that didn't... Back on the track. I thought you'd actually put me back on the road, but apparently not. Can I get back on the road at some point? Okay. No, I just want to get back. Where am I meant to be going? Because I just want to get out of it. This is another thing I find really annoying is if you take anywhere off road, it seems to be a pain in the ass just to get back onto.
We're getting reports of a vehicle driving
Right, there we go.
Units in the area, please investigate.
Right. So, is there any... I suppose I should try one of these out, because this will have... Oh, let's go back to that. There should be... There we go. If I go to... Oh. Just going to pick out Dirt Race quickly. If I can. Find the... No. Actually, no, that's a raid car, so yeah, that's what I want. Fast travel. Oh, I could have clicked play. God damn it. And like I say, some of the it's pretty nice. Some of this, like the environments, the difference in environments is nice to have. So let's go. Let's try co-op. This has never worked every time I've tried it, but let's see. Well, I say never. It's worked once or twice, and I've only ever found one player. It seems every time I've done it. Oh, I found someone. Can I find any more of them? See, this is the problem it has. Is like I wish it would at least wait a little bit longer instead of just going with 2 people. It just seems to go with 2 people and go, oh, yeah, that'll do, I suppose. I've never seemed to find a full list of 4 people except for that PvP race, which wasn't fun for that. Because at least with this, you're sort of working as a team at least. Well, I say that half the people still ram me off the road whenever there is, and I don't know if that's intentional, if that's just like it lagging. So yeah, it's changed it to a raid vehicle. You have, I think it's 5 different types of like setups for this car. You have like raid, which is like this dirt spec, performance, streets.
Tonight, we're gonna earn some
Was it
money.
performance? I can't remember what it's
Race you to
called.
the delivery point.
Perf, yeah, perf spec, circuit. And obviously all these have different sort of setups for the car. So it's pretty cool because like you see a lot of different variations of cars. Like you see the normal typical car right in front that you'd consider for dirt. Then you got this Dodge Challenger that I'm in that's all rallied up, and okay, you can apparently run into that. That's first. I thought I selected this to do co-op, and from what I can tell, there's only me in this race that is just a player, not an AI. Okay, well, I did have 2 people then, but never mind. And this is the dirt stuff, which is okay, maybe because I'm a higher level now, it's a bit easier.
Keep this up and you'll deliver on schedule.
Rock's your sister. Do you want to talk about it?
What's to say? The fact that I couldn't find her, I knew something was wrong. But knowing she's dead, it should feel different.
Ah, goddammit.
You know?
I do.
This is what I feel like the hardcore skill really doesn't help with, because I don't really get any feeling when up in the air that that car's going to go like that. Obviously with steering wheel it would help, but I wouldn't really want to play with this game with steering wheel. It's too arcadey to really bother. But I feel like with certain games like Forza and stuff, if something like that would happen, obviously you wouldn't take air in Forza generally speaking, but if you were going to get any snapback, you would sort of feel it somehow, or just know it would be consistent enough that you would be able to like work out, okay, I need to sort of counter steer this when I touch it, sort of thing. But oh, this is one thing as well. Some of the dirt stuff is really hard to notice the difference. And again, god damn it, gotta stop.
Chip, you find him. What are you going to do?
Good pay. For my brother, your sister.
This is the best way. Raise your profile, get your ink until you can get close to him.
It is.
Then I'll do everything I can to help you. The rendezvous point's coming up. The courier's unusual. I think you'll like it.
At least like the depth of view in this game isn't too bad, I find. Like you do notice that stuff starts popping in at different details, but it's not enough to affect you while racing. Like that would be like the worst thing. If they made this open world racer and things just popped in front of you, because that would completely ruin it for sure.
You're getting close, Alex. Keep your eyes open.
But I don't have to worry about this game because it is online only. There is no, like you have that server stuff, but you still have to connect to like a master server before this game will do anything. Which very much worries me because I don't know how this has done sales wise. Don't know if there's any way of finding out any player numbers either. But from how it seems pretty quiet a lot of the time. And I don't sort of blame anyone because this game is not special enough to warrant people buying it for £40 or whatever it is on PC. Maybe it's better on consoles because there's a bit more player base for this sort of stuff. But to me, this game, it does make me wonder if in 6 months it's still here or not, or they've had to do something drastic to keep it going. This is another type of skill thing where obviously the gates get smaller, you got to drive through them, you get a bonus multiplier every time you go through one, so now I'm on 2.6%, I'm 2.6 times multiplier, and then it resets every time I miss one. Obviously the quicker you get there, the more points you get every time. I haven't done this one yet, so I should be pretty good for something. What? That's annoying. But it heavily relies on you doing a decent string of gates, otherwise you don't get gold. And fortunately enough, I did get gold. And again, it resets you, which is annoying. So let's go back to the city again. I'm trying to think what's probably the best city to go to. I'm trying to think where Miami might be a cool place to go for the moment. Let's fast travel there. I'll show you at least the different sort of setups, I guess you're going to call them, for the cars while I'm here. This is a perf tuner, which you can only get perf spec stuff on. But yeah, you get street, dirt, your perf setting, your raid, and your circuit. That's all the ones you get in this, which is pretty cool. And obviously every single one has a different visual look to them. Nice typical V8 rumble, which is nice, but I think they're very generic in their sounds. There's nothing very particular about every other car. And that cutscene carried on after I skipped it. This one's got a bit more supercharger sound, which is nice, because that's accurate for this car. So yeah, overall, my opinion on this game is it's a very average racer. I wouldn't say it's a bad racer. I would only say it's bad that if it's supposed to do this multiplayer stuff, it's not done it well, or to a point where it's going to make it last, I think. It'll probably be fun while it lasts for some people, but there's not a lot of people, not enough, I think, to bring people into this game. I don't know what Ubisoft's plan with, or Ivory Tower as the developers. I don't know what their plan of this game was, if they were going to try and update it as it goes. Probably not, I'm going to say. But if this game really doesn't sell well like I think it is, I don't know how long this is going to be around for before it's sort of just dead. Unless they implement something that does make it solo. But then you got this big open world and then nothing. Not even like if it has sort of like a feature like Forza has, where at least it like populates with AI, but then user name drivers. And I really was hoping for more people being around in this game. There's just, I think all the time I see about 4 or 5 people, which on at least the PC version of the game I don't find acceptable. And I think it's maybe a server limitation they've done with this. Oh. Skittish car. Try again. Better. So yeah, that's really it. Unfortunately, it's a very average driving game, really. I probably missed some bits as I go here, but this is sort of, as the crow flies, this, I haven't really got a layout for any of this opinion sort of videos. I hope to get more, maybe a layout later on, if I do carry on doing this. Any suggestions are always appreciated. And until next time, see you guys later.